See, I would make a joke, but I don't feel like getting arrested.
Stay nerdy and get your geek on.
Hey guys, what's up? BC coming back at you guys video and another Transformers video review. And today, after the kind of low-ish excitement that was the last video, I am going to do something that's a little bit more exciting since he's more of a new mold, a newer mold at least, the Last Night Barricade. And I realize I'm super late on recording this video, but he does not fall under the whole retro review staple because he's technically still new. So I'm getting the coverage in rather... I'm kind of getting it in on time, but at the same time I'm not. Anyways, I'm going to move on. Here's Barricade in vehicle mode, and it's... You can already see my problem with it. It doesn't really like to stay together. Like, this specific piece doesn't like to stay in. This one, it stays in a little better. This one doesn't stay in at all. Like, I try my hardest to get this thing to stay in place, and it just won't stay. Like, I don't know if I have something twisted wrong, or just, like, the entire time I've had this toy, it's never stayed together in vehicle mode. And it's a shame, because I really like the vehicle mode. It's a very interesting take on his original police car mode. It says to punish and enslave here, which, awesome. Pull this off and move this to the side. My boy, Kid Cosmic did some amazing paint work just to this gun alone, where he kind of made it entirely gold and threw on some silver accent paint onto it, and he really spiced this piece up in general. So, quick shout out to that guy, to the BC knew how to talk. Quick shout out to Kid Cosmic for that, because that looked really awesome. And he has the pistol, which is my personal favorite weapon. I put this on many other figures just to see how it looks, and this pistol is just friggin' great. And then there's his police beat stick, which I'm going to show something off with this. Now, his transformation is interesting, because you can kind of see how his robot folds up in here, but it's kind of interesting how he unfolds. So, first things first, we're going to kind of unlock a couple tabs underneath the doors, and then we're going to take this whole piece and we're going to lift it up and off the body of the car. We're going to split this piece down here. It's going to rotate forward, and that's effectively what's going to be his legs. Bring this piece all the way down and around like this. This will act as his heel, and then flip his feet down. So there is his leg transformation. His arms are where things get a little interesting, because they're actually on multiple different joints. So you bring him out like this, bring it up, and then on this little detented hinge, you bring it down, and then you fold it all the way up. Do the same thing over on the other side. And then the arms come down. And as you can see, the way the arm is set up right here, he has no real elbow movement. You bend the elbow out, you swivel, you rotate the hand, you BC doesn't know how to talk tonight, people. Bring this piece of kibble up, rotate, and there's his arms. Then just flip this chest panel down, and you fold the doors in, and this whole piece just kind of collapses up onto his back. And that's another problem with the figure I have. There is nothing locking this chest piece into place. And it is so ridiculously easy to knock this thing out of whack. Now, maybe I could get in there and put some floor polish on that specific hinge so that this thing doesn't knock up as easily. But just as is, like, I haven't done any modding to my barricade, so you can see this is all fresh stuff. Even though I've had the toy for a while, just take my word for it. But yeah, there you go. There's the robot mode. And I like it up to a certain point. Like, when you look at the general profile of this robot, I dig it. I really, really love the way he turned out. But then a lot of the image of the robot gets destroyed by this backpack. And I really wish I could kind of get this to show it off a little better. In fact, here, hold on, let me see if I can adjust the camera height regimen just a wee bit. There we go. That's looking a little better. Sorry about that. But yeah, there you go. There's a better look at him. And just, yeah, you can see in general, I really do dig the look. This backpack, I see what they're trying to do, but this, from a frontal view, kills the silhouette. Just completely kills it. Now, there is a fix to this, because this whole backpack piece is only held on by a friction hinge right here. So, this whole piece can pop off. You can fold that up, set it off to the side, and now we have, in my eyes, a categorically superior looking robot mode, where we can really see the lovely, lovely detail work on just the bot mode alone. So, with that said, you know, he can store his weapons on his hips, which is really freaking cool. I'm going to put the nightstick there, and I'm going to put the gun in his hand. This piece, there's a couple of slots underneath his arm that this piece will just kind of peg into, and then just wrap around his arm, and he's got like a little, I don't know what you would call that, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be effective in an actual riot battle. And speaking of riots, you can give him a riot shield. How can you give him a riot shield? Use this thing. And how you do that is you effectively put the nightstick in his hand. At least I believe this is a nightstick, I don't know. Whatever cops would actually refer to this thing as. Why? You know, apparently BC doesn't know how to hold on to things today. BC's having tons of problems today. But yeah, you can kinda... I forget how this actually works. Like, give me just a second here, because I'm pretty freaking positive all you had to do was just kinda slot this in here somehow and give it... take my word for it. It's possible. So the most I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take it and slide it over. Slide it over like that. And you can kind of see what I'm going for right there. You can do it. It's possible, and apparently my backdrop doesn't want to work with me today. So there you go. There's barricade, not bot mode. Articulation-wise, he's got a ball-jointed neck, full range of motion, And, you know, that's fine and dandy. Shoulder swivel all around. Bend in the elbow. Bicep swivel. Wrist joint. Quite a few figures I wish had that joint, but I'll get into that in their videos. He's got a hip joint, which is kind of loose, but it's tight enough to where it'll hold a pose, so I'm not too worried about it. He's got a thigh swivel, a knee bend, and nothing at the ankle. So in conclusion, how do I feel about The Last Night Barricade? Aesthetics-wise, I dig him. I really dig how he looks this time around. But as a toy, I don't think this design translated from the movie into plastic all that well. But they were close, because Hascon showed the prototype for him where it had this whole shield on the back, or the whole back, like the whole top of the car on his back, and since it was the prototype, that whole piece was clear plastic. So I could see what they were trying to do. They were trying to do something where, since this would have been see-through, in certain lights, it would seem as if this whole piece just kind of disappeared. And it really, like, when it's completely clear plastic back here, that would have really worked. And clearly enough, seeing the actual figure in the prototype stage, it worked. It really worked. But in the final stages where they added the colors, it's something happened. So I do like him. Like, don't let my disdain towards him with his quibbling issues turn you away from the toy. He's a good figure. He's a really good figure. I just wish he was done better. That's my final thing with him. He introduces a lot of neat ideas, but doesn't really utilize them all that well. So with this said, guys, I'm taking it up. I gotta stop talking so fast. With all this said, guys, I've taken up enough of your time. This is BC saying Standard Geek on. I'll catch you guys next time.